This is a review of finding the area of rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, and trapezoids. So we're going to go ahead and start with reviewing the area of a rectangle. If you take a look here, we have our base along the bottom and our height along the side. That goes base for the top as well and height along that side. And putting it into practice, we have a rectangle here with a base of 10. So we're going to go ahead and put area equals 10. And then over here we have a height of 5. So 10 times 5. And we get that the area equals 50. Now we have to make sure that we label our answers. So since we are talking about area, we are talking about square centimeters. Alright, moving on. Now we have the area of a parallelogram, and here's our base along the bottom, which would be the same as the top. And we want to make sure that we are talking about the height as going straight up and down and not one of these slanting sides. So again, we have the area equals base times height, and a practice problem for us would be this one, just like the review. This one's slightly different because we have two separate sections for our base. So we have this right here, that's 10, and over here this is 4, and since together they make up the whole base, we actually have to add those together. So we have 10 plus 4, and then our height, our straight up and down, would be the 6 centimeters. So our area is equal to 10 plus 4, which is 14, making sure we do our parentheses first according to order of operations. So we have 14 times 6. And 14 times 6, let's see, 6 times 10 is 60, 6 times 4 is 24, so this would be 84. And again, we have centimeters in its area, so we are talking square centimeters. Alright, next we have area of a triangle, and this one's slightly different. We need to do base times height and then divide that answer by 2. Bottom is the base. Height, again, is going to be straight up and down. Make sure you don't take either of those slant heights. So our example here, we have a triangle with the side lengths 14, 17, and 12 and a height of 6. Our base is what we're talking about right here, since it's running perpendicular to our height. So we have our area is equal to 12, our base, times 6. Doesn't look like a 6. Times 6, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So 12 times 6 is 72, divided by 2 is equal to 36. And again, we have centimeters, so we will label that square centimeters. And finally, we have our area of a trapezoid, and this one is base 1, which is one of the bases. It doesn't really matter which one, but our base 1 times our base 2, adding our base 2 and then multiplying by height and then dividing that whole thing by 2. So again, base 1 plus base 2, add that together first, multiply that answer by the height, and then divide the whole thing by 2. So here's our example. So we are going to take base 1, 4, our base 2, which is 12, and we need to add those 2 together, and then we're going to multiply that by our height, which is 8. So we have 4 plus 12, which is 16. Putting that in parentheses, we're multiplying that times 8. We do that in the corner over here. 8 times 6 is 48. Put the 8 down, the 4 there. 8 times 4 is 32, or sorry, 8 times 1 is 8, add the 4, which would be 12. So our answer is 128. And then we have to divide that whole thing by 2. So 2 goes into 12 6 times. We get 12. Bring down our 8. Sorry. 2 goes into 8 4 times. So we have an answer of 64. And then we need to make sure we label, again, centimeters, so square centimeters.